Tutorials for Final Cut Pro, Lesson 5. Today we're going to look at trimming and transitions. A good way of removing footage we don't want in our project, and a great way of joining footage together to give a spectacular look to our project. We'll start by selecting a couple of clips. We have a clip here of a young boy throwing a javelin, and you can also see that there's an area where the filmer has gone to the grass, and we've got some grassed area. Then we have a clip here of a boy throwing a shot put, but there's a lot of lead in, and we don't really want that. Final Cut Pro allows us to click on the edge of a clip and either cut or add to our footage by dragging the side of the clip, as you can see here. We've taken away the unwanted footage at the end. Now we'll take away the unwanted footage at the beginning of the next clip, and that will leave us with two quick, neat clips. Especially if you're making a news item, you don't want to wait watching people standing around. You want to see exactly what's happening. And there we have a clip quickly showing the throw, and then another one throwing the next shot put being thrown. Now, how are we going to join this together? Well, we need to make sure that we choose a transition. A transition can be found under this square that looks like an input with the triangle on the top and the triangle on the bottom, showing that we're inputting a transition between our footage. You can see here we've got a huge variety of transitions to use. A little warning, don't get too creative with transitions. Don't use too many different ones. It does make your project look a little amateur. And choose a transition that will enhance your project, not detract from it. So, under all, there's all of the different transitions we can see: blurs, dissolves, lights, movements, etc. A variety of different transitions that a number of different people would use. Straight away, a lot of people would use a fade to colour, and you can choose the colour later on, but this just gives us a fade out and a fade into the next shot. That's used a lot on television. It gives the eyes a break, I suppose, more than anything else. Or there are some really creative transitions that will enhance our project. For example, you've got this band transition, which allows the first clip to be blended into the second clip in bands. And it also allows our eyes to follow the movement of whatever is happening. Some of the transitions use the lighting, some of the transitions use cloning. Now, the clone spin is a rather interesting one to put in there. It will take a little bit of time to render. You do need to remember that these will take a minute or two to render. You can see here that the clone allows us to put a number of different images on the screen in between the two clips. Now, if we expand our project, so we can see it more clearly and see it as a large piece rather than really small, and then click on the transition, the clone transition gives us the opportunity to change where the pictures are taken from. So here, for example, you can see the numbers. We've got number 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's number 4. If we go and have a look at our transition on the screen by putting our header on that transition, we can grab one of the numbers, number 5, and you can see how that's changing the image in the middle to give us exactly which part of the clip we want in our clone transition. You can do that with any part of your transition, grabbing the number of the picture and dragging that to where you'd like the picture to be taken from for your transition. Remember, the transition needs to be selected to have those numbers appear. Each time you move a number, it will require rendering. Rendering allows it to record what you've done, remember what you've done, and polish the picture off to give us the best visual. Finally, to remove a transition, you simply select it and click Delete. Now we'll put in another transition just to have a look at how it affects it. Here you have a black hole transition. Up in the inspector area, we can make changes to that. We can change it to look like what we want it to look like. You can change the trails, the echoes, you can put light or dark image to affect how it looks, trail opacity, etc. Make sure you remember with your transitions, you can use the inspector to change what it looks like when you've put it into your project. So a lot of fun can be had with transitions, and make sure it's enhancing your project when you've chosen the one you want to use.